Hello Pioneers, in the last episode of our Satisfactory series, we finished transitioning to our modular factory, set up a shopping mall and boosted our power output. This episode, we look into tier 5 and 6 milestones, starting with the jetpack for improved mobility. We bring our motor assemblers online, unlock critical tech, and test our new road by setting up a truck route for quartz production. Let's get into it. Our space elevator has completed phase 2 now, and we have unlocked tier 5 and tier 6. So we want to get some of the cool stuff in these tiers, and one of the things we want to get is jetpacks. Well, we want to get all of it. A lot of it is going to require motors. We have a lot of materials for everything else, but let's get motors online as a priority so we can start stocking and we can start unlocking new tech. If you'll recall, I had already set up a assembler line for motors. I had just never hooked it up because at the time we didn't know what motors were going to be needed for. But motors uses straight stator and rotor, both of which we are producing, but neither of which we are producing at 10 per minute, I don't believe. Well, the rotors we are producing at 10.8, but we are using some of them for something and we only have 6.8 left. Can we increase the production, or should we just produce motors very, very slowly? If we underclock this machine, we'll be producing motors at 2.5 per minute, which means to get to 50, it would need to be 20 minutes. So I think we should try to target at least one machine to produce motors at 5 per minute, because the volume we need the motors is not that low. To get the 10 rotors we need with spare, we would need at least another machine. Yeah, we've got 3 machines using up an entire screw line. We did create a second screw line that we are not using, so screws are okay. But the 18 times 3 rods are a bit of a problem. 54 rods. I don't know that we have 54 rods left. Let me just quickly go trace through how many rods we're using and let's go write it down. So I know rods are being used over here. They're being used at 12 per minute plus 12, which is 24 per minute. So let's go over here where we're producing the rods and write all of that down. I'm going to build some random ladders here until I solve my stairway problem because I can't really get up and down my factory. I started writing down in my notes what the things are being used for. So I'm not sure how accurate this is. 24, yeah, I wrote 24 for this. And that means we had 111 available, but we want to use a little bit more. Let me just double confirm that I've got the count right for the screws as well. So for the screws, we have 2 full lines of screws. We were limited by our something. I think it was the output of the screws. So the screws are outputting at 40 per minute normally. So if we have like 6 full machines, that's 240 plus 1 slightly underclocked machine at 30. So if we add up all the rods being used by these 6 machines, that's 60 plus 7.5. Yeah, those 2 lines of 67.5, so that is correct. And then I think the modular frames I said was using 24, right? Yeah. And then how many are these motors using? The motors are using 18 and I need 3 of them. I already have this. 54 is being used for motors. So I think we're okay to double up the rotors. Let me just do some quick maths. So my quick maths tells me that we're producing 270, 67.5 by 2 lines for screws. 24 is being used for modular frames. And then if we want another set of 3 rotors, we can double up our rotors and we'll have 3 rods left. We don't necessarily need to double up our rotors, but we can. So let's go for it. We need to get another screw line up here to double up our rotors though. But let's just put the machines down first. Let's line this up like such. Now, I probably don't want to fully double it up. I might just want 5, and then we'll consume most of the screws, but there's still some screws left over. Silly me just realized we do want to, while we do want to pass the rods through this, so we don't want to pass the screws through anymore because we need a new line of screws to come in here. These things use up so many screws that one Mark III line of screws can only do 3 of these. Clocked at 90%, but we can do 2 clocked at 100%. So let's do that. We've got everything linked up except for power. We need to bring these screws up. I'm going to maybe figure out how to do that better, because we're running out of vertical lanes, and being greedy like this and using an entire vertical lane for one thing is a little bit bad. So I'm going to triple everything up, because we're going to need, oh wait, we don't actually need anything else here. Or well, at least double it up. So we're going to bring both screws up in the same spot. The screws were coming from one level lower over here. So we need both screws coming out here now. Happy to do a straight path this way, and the screws coming out here cannot happily do a straight path this way. It's happily to do a janky path this way. We might just have to do a janky path this way, because how much room do I even have to turn? I don't even think, like, if I gave it like this much room to turn. Is that even lined up to this? Yeah. Oh yeah. It'll happily do that. Okay, so we've got now 2 belts of screws coming out. We'll get 2 belts of screws going up. Using the same vertical lane, so it shouldn't be an issue. There we are. There's our 2 new belts of screws. So let's get that into here. Is the first one, I think. Yup. And the second one's going to go over here somewhere. Let's see if we can get a reasonably okay pathing for this. If not, we'll just do any janky pathing that we can. It does not like that. I mean, it can just go like this with a little bit of clipping. Can get the input coming from somewhere else, but I'm actually okay with this. It clips through here, but it's fine. Functionality over form at this point. We probably don't need these to be clocked at 90. We can clock these at 100 because there's only 2 of them. And they should happily start producing more rotors. Rotors can join back up with everything else. And now we can update some of our numbers. So currently they're being used, so we had 10.8. Now we've got 2 more at 4, so we've got 18 rotors now. So in theory we have 10.8 remaining. That means even if we use up 10, oh man, that's dirty. If we use up 10, we'll just have 0.8 remaining. Yeah. That should be fine, because that 0.8 will just stockpile, and we don't really use rotors that much. So we should get away with having 0.8 per minute production. Maybe. If it becomes a problem, we might do one more. Oh. I think having more excessive rods is better than having an excess of rotors. And I think the thing that the rotors are being used for is something upstairs, I believe. Let me just double confirm that. Yeah, rotors are being used to make smart plating. So as long as we're not making smart plating, that other excess isn't actually being utilized, which is fine. So, I mean, the thing is, do we want to continuously bin all our excess materials? That's the other question. Because if I continuously bin my smart plating, then yes, I will basically have no excess of rotors. So we're basically saying smart plating uses 8, and our our motors uses 10. And remaining we have 0.8. It's still positive. It's just not in a great situation. But that solves half the equation for our motors. We've got our 10 per minute, and our other half of the equation comes from our stators, which is currently being used at 2.5 is already being used for something upstairs. I'm not sure what. But is there anything preventing us from making more stators? The steel pipes is being used at 30 for 2 machines, 5 per minute. So we just need a third machine. And 40 wire is okay, I think. So let's do a third machine. Yeah, these aren't underclocked at all. So I'll do 2 more machines and I'll clock them at 50%. Alright, I finished my stator setup. I was just updating the notes. So 2.5 is being used for automated wiring. We've set up another 2 assemblers over here to make stator, but they're clocked down to 50%, so they're the equivalent of 1. I just don't want to delete it and then later have to add it again. So I don't want to delete parts of my blueprint. And my blueprint comes in pairs. So now we're using 12.5. We have 2.5 excess left. The excess doesn't really matter because I'm not storing it. It doesn't look like it's being directly used in any of the milestone unlocks, so I don't need to store it, and that excess can be 0. We don't really need it to be at 2.5, but that's fine. So that's going over here already, so conveniently we can just heal it off anywhere here, and then push it into here, I guess. I say easy, but let's see if it'll let me do that. You can't do it on a bend. Oh, you can do this on a bend. Jeez, that is too dirty. Right, let's just do it as close as possible. Nah, it's not gonna like that. I can do that. That's terrible. What if we did it a little bit further out? Doesn't like straight, but I can get it up there. Gonna learn a brand new technique. It's called split and then put it back on top of itself. Either that or I can just split it here and put it through 2 holes. Here's the technique. You guys will hate this. My new technique, split and shove it on top of itself. Wow, this goes outside the factory. I don't think I like that. Doesn't like that. Just testing some design patterns. Learning some new stuff. We're about halfway down the path. It likes that. A little bit of a curve. But then in theory, I should be able to get it from here into one of these 2 holes. Still looks a bit janky. I mean, we can do it cleaner, but whatever. There's the stators in, and the other part is the rotors, which should be nice and convenient because I built it right here. So over here, we just need to split it out. And then it can just go straight up and in. Wow, even that it doesn't like. Oh, we'll have to do that. Reconnect that, and yeah, even that it doesn't like. Okay, we'll have to clip onto this side then. Wait, what did I do to this thing? In this way. You can actually get a straight belt doing that. Alright, there's the motors. I don't know why I split this in 2 because we're only feeding 1 machine, but fine. Now we just got to get the power in. And there we have it. We're producing our first motors. We'll clock these both down to 50% because we know we only have enough to support 50%. I don't know why that one was set to automated wiring. I think I was just testing stuff. I don't want to scare myself I'm doing all this in the wrong spot. Fantastic. We have our first motors being produced. Now they need to go out and be stored somewhere. So I need to look for another free vertical lane to get it out into storage. It looks like wherever this is a free vertical lane. Nope. 1, 2. Yeah, that's taken, but I can use this part of, like this third of this lane to do it. So let's set that up. We want to do something like that to get it out, because that's completely clean and perfect. Amazing. Look at that. Terribleness. Don't like that. I think straight is actually a better, smoother curve for this belt. Like, really, we should use lift, but I don't think there's enough space for lift. That's the thing. To change levels if we don't like curves. Like that is a little bit cleaner. Okay, so with that coming down, we can just get that into storage. That shouldn't be an issue at all. Get it to the same height as everything else, and we'll follow that same storage pattern. And just like that, we have motors. Now, while we're waiting for our motors to actually come down and stock up to 50, we've got 7 at the moment. What we can do is work out a stairwell pattern. We've got like 10 minutes. It's going to take a while to make 50 motors. So let's work out a stairwell pattern. And what is a stairwell pattern, you may be asking? Well, at the moment, here's my stairwell. It's currently in the way of everything. So where can we put a better stairwell? Not here, because that's where that is being combined. Can we do it inside the factory? Like, what if we did it along the middle here? Would that make sense? We can't do it in the front of the factory, because remember, this is infinitely extendable that way. We want to avoid this lane over here, because we're using it for transportation. So does it make sense to do it like here and up? I think so. Let's try it. My worst blueprint for a stairwell pattern. Does it make sense for a stairwell to go here is my question. In which case we would need to dismantle 2 sets of foundation because that's how big stairwells are. And then do something like that. At least we have a completely clear area for stairs. I think this is okay. I actually like this. I mean, yes, this part is a little bit intercepted. So maybe we should do even 1 more tile out because it goes there. Okay, that's fine. Half a tile out. Like that. Actually can kind of use my blueprint pattern for this. Although I will have to shift it a little bit manually. Ah, there we go. Actually works. Hope it's lined up properly. Let's find out. My blueprint does work. We just have to manually line it up. I like it. Let's see if it works here. I think we have to do the 3rd level manually ourselves. Oops. Where it hits a level, we don't want to use catwalk. We just want to use a foundation. Ah, and then we hit this thing. That's a bit annoying. We don't need to necessarily hit this thing, but we're using this particular line as transport for this. We can get it to duck slightly under. I just redid the belt to dip slightly under the catwalk, so our stairs user experience is still manageable, I guess. We're gonna have to do the same over there as well, because I know I got another 2 materials doing something similar. So we'll tackle those challenges when the time comes. The thing is, do we even want to get to the roof directly through here is the question. Like from this point, because this is to the actual roof, right? I don't think there's anything else. There's not a level above us. We can do something like this. And that's how we get up to our space elevator. I think that's okay. We don't have to use the stair design pattern everywhere. Let me add some railings everywhere to see if that looks a little bit better. Like for OH&S reasons, there should be railings along here. We don't need a railing here because that's going to be a wall eventually. But here's our user experience with the stairs. It seems fine to me. Yeah, I like it. If we replace these with L foundations, then these stairs start making a lot of sense, right? Trying to figure out design patterns for each section. I mean, it's a bit annoying I can't walk through here. I mean, technically I can still walk through this frame. That's fine. It's good enough for me. Alright, cool. So we can access every single level like this. And I think this is the design pattern that we're going to go with for our stairs. I like it. We just need to edit our blueprint for the stairs to change this catwalk part to these L-shaped catwalks with the railings. And then everything starts making a lot of sense. Why do we need railings on this level? I'm confused. Ah, this is different to this level. The way it interacts with every level is slightly different. Like this one, you kind of come out here and then you go around the back there. So the railings need to go on this side then. Like that. Or is that even right? Or is this meant to be a full thing here? Spending so long on my staircase. If we just open up this section, then you can't fall down here, you can't fall down here. And then this is just stairs. And then you can still go under like this. It's just a little bit tight. I don't like this. I like this. And do a half railing here. There we go. That looks a lot better. Yeah, and that one follows the same pattern as this one. Like, we can always move this frame over to the other side. That's not a problem. I think that's perfect. So let's do a little user experience walk of the stairs. So derpy, I am a bad employee that's gonna fall down stuff. Now I can't fall off the railings. OH&S achieved. And now we can hit the different floors. Fantastic. We can put walls up now for our old staircase. Yup. This feels good. And now we can get to every single floor very easily. Oh, we missed one. This is where somebody can fall off a railing and then sue us. So we definitely don't want that. And then you get to the very top. And then if you want to access the roof level, you climb this ladder. I like it. I like it a lot. Now I'm just going to go decommission my old staircase. This crazy monstrosity out here. Super dangerous staircase. Right. Now our old staircase is gone and we have this brand new staircase. Let's go see if we have our 50 motors yet to get jetpacks and make staircases completely redundant for the rest of the game. Even if they are redundant, I still want to build my factory to some sort of standard that makes sense, right? As in, how would a normal person without a jetpack traverse the factory? Also, let's not assume the jetpack works the way you think jetpacks work, right? So let's take 50 of these motors, 1,000 something or other, cables, and 1,000 plates. Okay, let's see what we have on us. 50 motors. Got that many plates, that many cables, so we need more plates, more cables. We need at least 600, and then a little bit spare for us to use, and at least 200 iron plate. I love this new shopping mall. It's so much cleaner than my old shopping mall, and produces a lot more material, which is more important. I don't have to keep going up and down the way I used to, and everything I need is right here. I love it. I love it when plans become functional. Like, imagine if I built all this factory and then it was like really annoying to use and I had to like either redo it all or just live with it.
Milestone reached. Fix-It has granted you the power of flight, provided you have a jetpack and the appropriate fuels. The jetpack refuels automatically while you are standing on a surface, and different fuel types will affect the jetpack's functionality. With this increased versatility, you will no doubt achieve efficiency levels previously unheard of.
I like the idea of efficiency levels previously unheard of. I don't like the idea of fuel though. Let's go check it out. There it is. We need 5 motors. Okay, that's 1 jetpack. Put the motors back. So I suppose this is where the new fuel source comes in as well, because we probably need it for things like the jetpack. Ah, it goes on the back. Nice. Okay, I can use this. So we probably need to set up a little factory to make biofuel, because that's our best factory at the moment. And then you hit space. Oh my god, look how fast it burns the biofuel. Wait, what? That's it? I can't even get up 1 level of my factory. Oh, I can. Okay. I say that's it. That is fine, because all I need to do is get up 1 level of my factory. Cool. Well, that's it for now. But I assume it gets better. I'm sure it's useful. Like, say I'm falling. Let's test falling. And then I can hit space midair to slow my descent, right? Surely. There you go. Check that out. Amazing. I mean, it probably won't be able to traverse this cliff, but that's fine. That's what ladders are for. Going up has never been a problem. It's always been going down. So at least the jetpack will help in that regard. And I assume later we're going to get better fuel, which will allow you to jetpack in one burst for longer and traverse greater distances. Makes a lot of sense. I really like the way they've done the gameplay progression, so they don't just immediately give you a jetpack that makes, you know, stairs and ladders redundant. You have to work towards that. Maybe one day you'll get nuclear fuel and then, yeah, you'll make your stairs and ladders redundant, but not immediately when you get your jetpack. I really like that. So to progress on the next thing, we need to get this, right? We need another 50 motor, which we don't really need that many motor to progress. We already have 50 motor. We could actually do this progression now if we wanted to. But before we do this progression, we're very close to being able to hook up our quartz and silica constructors. We just need to bring in the raw quartz. And we've already set up most of the infrastructure to bring in the raw quartz. I just have to go over there and set up the truck stops. And we need to bring in fuel, coal to fuel this stuff over here. What I might actually do, instead of bringing in the coal, I might actually kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Do I want to kill 2 birds with 1 stone? Questions. No, I don't want to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Yes, I do. I want to do a temporary setup, and we're just going to make biomass here. Because I need it for my jetpack. And I've got leaves, and I've got trees, and wood and stuff. So I might just set up the thing that we had before. We'll do a real quick dirty one because we know we're going to deconstruct this one day. I've forgotten how to build things normally. So we just need 2 constructors. And one is going to be making solid biofuel. Nope, that's not how it works. Where's the fuel hole? This is the fuel hole. Let's line it up to the fuel hole. We need a constructor. Okay, sorry. I'm just thinking it through as I'm doing it. We need a storage container to store the biomass, not an industrial one, just a regular one. Oh no. See, I just saved myself with my jetpack. I would have fallen down. Already loving this jetpack. Alright. We need a storage container that's going to store biofuel. That's going to go in here. We're using Mark III for everything. Like that. Then into this storage container, we want to make biofuel. So we're going to build just 1 constructor. And that's going to be making biofuel. Solid biofuel. And it's going to store in this box, and any excess is going to be stored to power our quartz truck. Then to go into this thing, we need a splitter or a merger. And we're going to put trees and leaves in here. Love having enough room to work. This is the setup we had from like episode 1, where we were still working with solid biofuel. I mean, eventually this will become redundant, but for now, we're just going to do a setup like this. I'm just going to do 2 storage containers going this way. Is this centered? How is this perfectly centered? That's crazy. Well, that's not perfectly centered, but I don't really care. Now, how many power poles do I need for this setup? 3. That works out perfectly. Look how easy it is to do power nowadays. Oh, it's so good. Can't wait to unlock Mark II power poles. I didn't notice Mark II power poles anywhere. It's a bit strange. But look, we can just connect that over there. Fantastic. Alright. So that should all be working. We just got to set the recipes now. I want you making biomass out of leaves. I want you making biomass out of wood. And I just got to remember which one's which. We're definitely not going to be making biomass out of mycelia. So now I can go over there, get all my biomass, get all my everything, and we can make all the biofuel that we need. This is all just residual biofuel from before, so we definitely want to get this going properly. Let me get all my biomass. It also helped clear my storage because I've got so much crap in here. All these leaves, all this biomass, all this wood. So this one is my leaves. So this is leaves. Can't believe we're doing biofuel stuff again. Crazy. And then the biomass itself can go into the biomass machine. I don't need to be holding this on me. There we go. And then all our excess biofuel can just go in here. And I want a stack of 200 at any given point in time. And then the biofuel will come in, and once this thing is powered... Oh crap, I do need another pole. Well, this, I'm going to keep this as a separate pole because this is going to be for the truck stop. Can have its own ooh, I nearly jumped off. Can have its own separate power, and there we go. Now it's loading the biofuel, and when the truck comes over here, it will get the biofuel. Now I've got everything I need. I just need to go set up the truck itself and do the automated path. I think I left my tractor over the other side, didn't I? Damn it. Why did I do that? I love walking down this road that I created. I no longer have to interact with nature or anything. It's fantastic. Now, I remember I put in 10 billion things in here, which now I'm starting to regret. Because we're going to have to take this tractor. Alright, let's go set up our thing first. And then we'll grab the tractor on the way home. We've set up our power over here at our quartz mining area, but we've never actually set connected it, so let's do that. There's only one quartz mine, and that can just connect to here. I'm not sure if we're ever going to need silica in any volume for any sort of actual process, but I definitely want silica set up for windows and things like that. So we're getting quartz out now. That should start drilling. That should start loading this truck stop with quartz. Now we can do the path for the tractor, and then we should have quartz in our base. Now, someone told me I should probably use one lane of the road. That way, in case I ever want to make a second tractor, I'll be able to. So let's try that. We don't have to record a path starting from a truck stop. We can just start from here. And as long as we close the loop, we should be okay. Now, because I live in Australia, I believe this is the side of the road that I drive on. I'm just trying to think. Is this the side of the road I drive on? Yeah, cars come at me from the right. I can't even, I'm such a bad driver. So let me start the path. X to show hide path, Q to record, and then we'll start recording. And then we'll go. We'll try to stay on this lane of the road if we can. Here comes the turn. You ready to watch me fail this turn? Oh, it's not terrible. All right, we're here. We want to do like a sort of 3-point turn sort of thing. There we go. It has enough to do a U-turn. So if I press F to load and unload, well, I need to empty my inventory first. Too much concrete, too much steel plate as well. Let's configure the truck stop to take the load and unload. So we want to unload here. Let me take the crap out of here. So we want to press F to unload the cargo. I assume it's known to do that now, and then we can go back now. There we go. That was a nice turn. Let's try to do another nice turn. There we go. Oh, it's so good. Whoever told me in the comment section to do 2-lane road, thank you so much. Very, very clever. Very, very good. Uses a lot more material, but well worth it. I like it. Now, if my tractor's going to use this road for thing, I'm going to be very careful if I start building pillars in the middle to do the train. We might be able to do the train underneath the road. I don't know. I still haven't decided yet. All right. Anyway, I got to concentrate on this turn. There we go. And then up we go to go get the quartz itself. Hopefully the tractor doesn't get attacked by these alien life forms to our left, preventing us from exploiting the natural resources of this planet. Okay, now we just got to do a nice little 3-point turn here, or a U-turn. There we go. And then we can F to load cargo here. Right? And that's it. Now we just need to go and close the loop. And we might need to edit some of these numbers over here for the... Oh, careful about flying off the edge. We just need to edit some of the things over here to make sure that it stops at each stop for a reasonable amount of time. And there's our finish line. And boom, the loop is closed. Can we save this path as quartz route? Or we start naming them in case we get multiple quartz routes. And that's selected for this. Now we can hide the nodes. Or we can, we can get you to just go and do this now, right? Let me just check if it has loaded no quartz in here. Let's go check what's going on with the quartz. Actually, while it's doing its thing, I might just go and I can always create a second tractor now. That's the thing. I don't need to use this one tractor. I have a road that supports multiple vehicles, right? So I'm going to turn the autopilot for this thing on. We'll enable the autopilot, and then this thing can go off and do its thing. What are you trying to do? It's trying to get to a node. What are you doing? What was that? It went crazy. Alright, it's alright. It's figured itself out. We'll get off the road so it doesn't run us over. This is meant to be a footpath. Let's just go make sure we've done the quartz all appropriately. Yep, indeed, quartz is coming up here. And we are filling up with quartz. Fantastic. Alright, let's go over here and edit this node. Because this node tells it how long to wait here. Now, 9 seconds. Let's just wait for 5 seconds. And then we'll set the wait time over on the other side as well. Why does it need any wait time? Because it seems pretty instant when it loads and unloads the cargo. Oh, I love this jetpack. It's so fun. No more fall damage for me. And if I accidentally fall off a cliff, I'm no longer scared. I can just jetpack my way back up. Here comes our tractor. Took a long time to do one route. It's pretty crazy. Want to make sure it doesn't have anything in the crafting bench. Yeah, it has got an empty cart, so it should be sweet. We just got to set the wait time on this thing over here. 40-second wait time. That's why it's terrible. There we go. We've set that to 5 seconds. 5 seconds. It should go there, pick up the stuff, come back, and bring quartz over here. With that quartz, we want to bring it down. Oh, no. I've got... Okay. Conveyor wall hole, conveyor lift hole, sorry, is going to come in clutch here. We're going to have to put one right here, and then we're going to get it to go down. The quartz will be in here. We'll assume quartz will be in here. And then we want to conveyor lift Mark 3 that down through this lift hole, because that's apparently legal now. Man, this is really annoying to do. All right, let's go down underneath and do the subfloor for this. Oh, I just missed. I'm gonna die. Damn it. I gotta get used to this jetpack thing. Alright, let's get to our subfloor and figure out where we want the quartz to come in, and we'll hook that machine up, and that will be that. I believe this is it. It's like literally right here, right? Because this is where the concrete's being made, and over here is where I want the quartz being made. So I need to delete this because this is our usual conveyor setup. But we don't want to do this for the quartz. We don't want the quartz coming in up on the roof. We want it coming in through the subfloor. So let me get rid of these lifts. Hold on. Are these even set the right way? I feel like these are set the wrong way. Oh my god. This is splitters. This side is going the wrong way. This side is going the right way. Let's deconstruct this set. Yeah, this was still me getting used to my blueprints, building all my stuff the wrong way. That is the correct orientation, I believe. Is that something we want? So the output comes out here. The input goes in there. How did I mirror this? I don't understand. Hold on, let me just double check the directions. All right, definitely the input goes in there. And definitely the input goes in there, right? Did I rotate and mirror this perfectly somehow? I have no idea. I'm not going to question it. Get rid of the stuff up the top. There we go. And we'll clean up these lifts. Clean that up. And then we'll do our lifts down here. This is going to be a custom build, so do everything in Mark 3 in case for future. Well, not these lifts. These lifts never need to be Mark 3, right? Because I want one side to be making quartz crystal, and we only ever need... Oh, actually, no, these need to be Mark 2. If we double and a half that, that could overtake Mark 2. So we might do this at Mark 3 for future proofing. I don't even know the volume of which I'm doing this quartz, so let me figure that out as well. I'm just doing 4 to start with on each side. But that could be like way too much. We're gonna do something like that, and then we should be able to fit a splitter, sorry, like in between these two. Where is in between these two? It's this one here. It'll look a bit janky because I can't center it between these two. I don't think it'll work. But we can do something like that. So there it is. This is the input belt that I want for quartz. Let's see where the wall hole for that goes. I'm just going to do a singular wall hole because I don't want to confuse myself. I don't think we ever need to get anything out of here because it's a subfloor, right? Okay. Fantastic. Now let's do some quick maths to figure out how much quartz is actually being produced. So once I'm doing the raw quartz into quartz crystal. Oh, I need my raw quartz for this. Don't tell me I destroyed it. I mean, sorry, I need my quartz crystal for this. I need quartz crystal to make the signs I need to store this stuff. Crazy. I still have some left. Fantastic. You can have my raw quartz now, though. Don't need this in my inventory. Alright, quartz crystal. Why? Why does it do the sign upside down? I don't understand. Alright. So we're making this, and we will go, production is how much? So each one takes 37.5, and if I have 4, that's about half of the belt. That's fine. And it produces 22.5, which means we're producing 90 of these, and we're using, this is a weird number, I just want to log it down, 37.5 times 4, 150. That means we have 240 coming in. That means we have 90 left, and we can use all that 90, oh god. We can use all that 90 to produce silica, which also is just made of raw quartz. It uses less quartz to produce more silica, so that could work out perfectly. So we need 22.5. That means we can support exactly 4 machines. What the heck? It's like this was tuned exactly for a Mark II miner. Perfect. We can copy these settings. Then we put a sign on this one to note down all that maths we just did. So 37.5, it's the opposite of, it's the inverse. So here we're producing 150 silica, and we're using 90. Yeah, they're the inverse of each other. This produces 90 using 150, and this produces 150 using 90 raw quartz. Perfect. Now, let's see if we've actually got raw quartz at our disposal. Plenty of raw quartz. It's here, guys. It's here. Fantastic. Let's get down to the subfloor and get that sorted out. I'm going to extend my subfloor over to my truck stop. And just like that, it is in. Why? Why do you hate this? It doesn't like to connect this, which generally means this thing is the wrong direction of some sort. Just need to get up there to check it out. I'm just going to drill a hole somewhere. Not in the middle of my road. Ugh, we'll just... almost fell. Oh, saved by the jetpack again. Don't get run over by my own tractor. Move this thing. Figure out where the inputs and the outputs are. That's the outputs. I'm silly. Put the conveyor hole here then. And then we'll get that raw quartz out. Just like that. Look at that. Raw quartz is coming in. Let's make sure all of this is being produced. We need to set up our power infrastructure now. So somewhere we need double wall outlets where we line up with the actual power outlets, which is this one. And then one for this side, which is over here. Connect the outside bits. Well, let's connect the inside bits first. That would make more sense. Then we'll connect the outside bits. That should definitely easily connect something along here, which is right here. And boom, all of this suddenly has power, and all of this is suddenly producing things. Beauty. We have now added silica as well as quartz crystal into our repertoire. Now we can go above here and make all those other cool things like oscillators and get the Explorer vehicle, and all sorts of fun things are about to ensue. But first we need to store all this stuff somewhere, and unfortunately my truck stop, well, where these two would naturally store would be here, but my truck stop is currently in the way of that, which is dumb, because the truck stop literally could have been anywhere and I can't move it anymore. So what to solution this? We could just ignore the fact that the truck stop is here, because one day we're going to replace it. So if we do a double hole here and output one here and output one here, it's a little bit annoying, but whatever. Then we can get them out the usual way, and we'll get 2 storage boxes, and truck stop be damned. Doesn't clip too hard. It's just like a tiny bit of clipping here. Fine. I'm okay with that. It's just this one that clips. There we go. Done. And there we go. We've got now silica and hopefully raw quartz coming out of here and being stored into these 2 boxes. We don't need to worry about anything here because we don't need to interact with it. And again, it's temporary until we get trains, right? So we're not going to worry about it too much. But there we go, silica and raw quartz, finally. I don't know why I wanted silica and raw quartz so bad, I don't remember. Wasn't silica meant to be to make windows? So does that mean I can finally make some of these cool windows? We can test the different frames somewhere and see if we can fix up our factory a little for fun at the end of the episode. I can't do the front of my factory, but I want to do the side of my factory. Like I was kind of thinking a layer of walls and then a layer of windows. What if we just did a whole thing of windows? I wanted to see which one is nice. Triple honeycomb. Ew. I like this one. This one looks hectic. Hex frame windows. Hex anything is cool. Let's do one floor of our factory, like this wall, and see how it looks. If I just do alternating frames of windows and that, does that look nice? And then that's not enough. So somewhere needs to be a double window. I can do a double window. And that is it. That is the first time we have walled off a section of our factory properly. And then this can be a doorway over here. Is there a frame? I swear I remember there used to be like a door frame. I know there is a door. I don't like the tiny maintenance doors. Is there a big door frame? And do I already have the big door frame? I don't have a door frame. Nope. Let's look for one. I'm sure there is one. And we've got 33 fix-it tickets, so back to the shop. Oh, pipeline hole, floor hole. I need that. Someone told me about this. Pipeline wall attachments. Oh, hypertube wall attachments and floor holes. Oh, we can use hypertubes as lifts in our factory. Definitely want that. Add that to cart as well. Clean pipeline. I don't... Whatever. Let's just take these. We have the money for it. And everything in management is then purchased. Mark II power outlets. Want that. Can't do lighting yet. Don't know why. Quick wire. Oh, once we get quick wire, we can do lighting. But it was still... It's still recent development because we would have had to wait for tier 3 steel production. But we should definitely add some lights to our factory as well soon. Customizer, don't really care about finishes, they're for the walls. I want this, which we're going to get oil processing very soon. And then we can make our factory look really good. Pattern, factory, icons, concrete wall. Steel wall. Ooh. What am I looking for again? Frames. Wait, did we unlock a bunch of frames? Isn't any of those a wall frame? Frame wall. I want like a hollow, something that frames an empty hole. How does none of this do that? Maybe these beams? Painted beams? Beam support? I don't know. Oh, it's so hard. Pillars. Definitely not pillars. Let's try the beams. Oh, it's so dark. Maybe something in my beams can frame this hole a little bit better than just like an opening, you know? It doesn't really look like a door to me. I mean, I know we can use these. I don't like it though. Basic wall. But this doesn't go up. This is just like a 1 meter little thing. It's like a divider in the middle of your thing. Why would I ever want this? All right, let's try these beams. What do these beams look like? All right, cool. These beams can go in any direction, I think. I mean, we can use these beams to temporarily frame our doorway. Yeah. I mean, they kind of work the way I thought they would work. Let's try another one. A painted beam. They kind of look... They're like mini support pillar things. Beam connector. Ah, that's cool. Beam support. How do I... Let me do the top beam before. Yeah, that. I wanted this, and then if we use a beam connector, it kind of like frames it like a doorway, right? I don't know if this is the correct way to make doorways in this game, but I'm gonna do this. This looks cool to me. Does this look good to you guys? Now we've got an actual doorway to our factory's first level, and we've got nice windows because of our silica. Oh, it's looking fantastic. It's looking like a real factory to me now. Too bad some of this material looks a little bit weird through a window, but otherwise, that's looking fantastic. The more cool little features we add to this, the better our factory starts to look. What is this? The smelting level. Like if we start walling up some of this, How do we do the pattern? It's like one, because our factory is a box. We can start walling up like this. Yeah, that looks amazing. Now it actually looks like a proper factory with an entrance and everything. Oh, wow. That's looking real good. If we really want, we can do a second doorway over here, but that seems unnecessary. But yeah, look at that. Our first kind of level of a factory. What about this stuff? These things that require a hole in the wall. Because that doesn't look very good. Can you do a hole in the wall through glass? No. All conveyor walls are this. But what we can do is use customizer materials. Oh, you can change the color of the machines. There's so much customization in this game. But anyway, I'm going to use my carbon steel finish to do this. That way, at least it lines up with this color. So that kind of looks okay. And then if it's meant to be an orange wall, we'll do an orange wall. But if it's meant to line up with the glass foundation, with the glass windows, then we'll do like a carbon steel finish on it. And that's looking excellent. Oh man, once we do our whole factory, it's going to look really, really good. But I'm not going to waste your time doing that on camera. I'll do that in my own time whenever I'm waiting for stuff. To end off this episode, let's unlock ourselves oil processing with the motors that we've accumulated and unlock whatever else so we can get ready for next episode. But we've done a lot this episode. We've done our quartz, we've done our motors, and we are in a very good position to progress the series. We'll take a couple of motors and we will go see what we need for the thing. We need encased concrete and some pipes and some other pipes. I wish the milestone told me what I actually have in my inventory so I know what I need to go pick up, but it doesn't. Right, where is my pipe? I need to familiarize myself with my new shopping mall. Of course, I didn't bring enough steel pipe. Fine, we're producing plenty of steel pipes. Oh, we should use the ones up the top. No, we don't have an extra container of steel pipes up there. I knew they'd come in handy. Push the button and listen to some ADA conversations to end the episode off. My daily dose of ADA.
Milestone reached. Crude oil can now be extracted and refined to produce various industrially beneficial parts. The byproducts of these processes will require careful management, but a capable pioneer such as yourself surely understands that. To improve efficiency, pipelines can now be optimized with valves to limit and balance their throughput. These were initially left out because Fixit did not want to overwhelm pioneers with complex pipeline management, but they have since been re-added after my impassioned defense of your capabilities.
Thank you, Ada, for defending my capabilities. Okay, so we've unlocked, well, there's so many things. Scannable resource for crude oil and heavy oil, whatever this polymer resin material is, petroleum coke, the circuit board recipe, new shop products, oil extractor, refinery, valve, plastic, rubber, and fuel. Fuel sounds useful. It's what we need for our jetpack. Yeah, we're going to have to figure out all these processes next episode. But for now, we have unlocked that new finish. And since I have all my fix-it stuff, why don't we do that? I think this is the finish that I really wanted. It looks fantastic for our factory floor. Because I'm very, very sick of this metallic crap. I want the inside of my factory to look different from the outside of my factory. So let's see what we can do. I want this to be the walkway. Anywhere that we're meant to walk. So these machines, where they sit, they can sit on this metal. But where I walk, I want it to be a different material. So if I go to my customizer. Oh, no way. It's a material. I have to manually delete everything and redo it. Do I? Oh, and I need plastic to make it, but look how pretty this thing looks. This is exactly what I want for my factory floor. Okay, well, yeah, we're definitely doing this next episode, but we need to make plastic. Okay, cool. We've got a path for our factory. We've got a lot of cleanup and things to do. So I might do some of that on my own time, or you know, while we're waiting for stuff, we might put some walls and windows up, make our factory look nice between this episode and next episode. So when you tune in again, you might see this entire front end of the factory fully sealed off with proper windows and yeah, some more decoration. And we might put some sky walkway somewhere, some hyper tubes, a lot of fun stuff. So if you don't want to miss out on that, don't forget to like and sub, and I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.